Greetings, this is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise goes to the source of all life, the supreme creator. Blessings to all that seek the truth. This is a wonderful channel, the Black Sheep Researcher. This is an etymologist, and he is absolutely a wealth full of information and enlightenment. So go subscribe to his channel. He's worthy of the content, believe me when I tell you so. So let's take a listen to what he has to say this morning.
What if, when you look up into the heavens, you're looking at the agents of strife, the catalyst behind the downfall of so many? The agent, the instigator of all this, is none other than the Great Rift, otherwise known as the Milky Way. Think about those souls, those memories of those that lived, sifting between your fingers, not knowing that the sand, the deserts, is just the left waste from that rift that tore apart so many years ago.
Wow. This guy's deep, man.
So guys, this is a mad theory, I know, but I know I'm not alone, not in being mad, but in thinking and linking the Great Rift, the Milky Way, to ancient catastrophe that buried this realm. I know a lot of people have been thinking that, but I wanted to take it a little bit deeper, tie it in with a few things that I've covered over the years, and see what you guys think at home. So when we think of, like for instance, the Sahara, it used to be green. And that got me thinking, what caused the Sahara basically to turn to sand, to rock, to rubble? Now you could talk about ecosystems changing, climate and all that. But what if it was the rift in one big great catastrophe? So they say, and I have to take the word for it because that's the information that we can use, that it happened around 6,500 years ago. Funny that, isn't it? It's an 11. The Sahara Desert was not the endless expanse of sand we know today, but a lush green landscape teeming with life. Seasonal monsoon rains turned the region into a mosaic of lakes, rivers and grassland, where hippos, elephants and crocodiles roam freely beneath a sky alive with storms. And they know this because obviously there's cave petroglyphs showing you animals in that region that are no longer there. So this ties in, doesn't it? I mean, you can look on old maps from the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th century and it shows you more rivers. But you can see lush vegetation in between the sand. So this is about the 12th, 13th century. And there you go. These maps may be used based on even earlier lost maps or oral records indicating that the Sahara was a lush green land with trees and abundant water just 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. So it's still tying in to that age period. So let's look at the word Sahara. So they say it's derived from the Arabic word Sahara, which translates directly to desert or wasteland. It is specifically rooted in the plural form Sahara or the feminine singular adjective Ashar, describing the desert's characteristic yellowish red colour. Etymology details Arabic origin. The term originates from Sahara singular and Sahara plural, meaning desert. Literal meaning, the word signifies desert, wilderness, or wasteland, similar to the Latin deserta. Regional context is often associated with the phrase Al-Sahara Al-Kubra, meaning the Great Desert. English adoption. The word was first adopted in England in the early 1600s, notes English, Oxford English Dictionary. So, yes, the word desert, meaning a barren, arid region, originates from a Latin root that means left, waste. So that's what made me originally think of this idea. Hey, we'll look up into the heavens. It's called the Great Rift. The Milky Way. Did a catastrophe happen? And all that basically came down and covered certain regions of this realm. It's why deserts are known as left waste. What is it left waste of? And obviously some of you will go, oh yes, it's a mining operation, so that would be the left waste, and it does connect with that, but not on a grand scale. What I'm trying to get at in this video, it's a turn in the heavens creating all these deserts. You can see the etymology root means left waste, wild. And the reason I called it the Great Cosmic Collapse, because I believe that's what happened. If you remember back a video or two, basically cosmic really signified of this world. It also meant orderly arrangement, good order, or the universe. So it originally meant of this world. So the Great Cosmic Collapse would be of this world, the collapse of this world, of this term. So to help you guys understand,
coming from the cosmonaut,
I made these with AI, and this is the sort of thing I was trying to get at. So the Great Rift, the Milky Way, tore open.
So I just got to stop at this real quick and share some thoughts that in the Bible it says that rocks are going to fall from heaven and they will penetrate through the body and your blood will pour out on the ground like dung. So I keep telling people that we're underneath of a firmament. Something, it's a barrier that's created by frequency and vibrations. And this is a horrifying thought. Okay, let's say that the sky opens up like this and that hailstones do come down and everything else and fire and brimstone, it all comes down. When you look at it at this magnitude and you think, oh, the heavens will be opened up, and then all will see, the believers will see the source and spirit and all his glory, and all of those that didn't believe are going to get whacked out by small little rocks like this that are going to penetrate, as the Bible says. I'm not trying to scare anybody here. I don't believe in half of the stuff that the Bible says, because I believe it's all fear tactics. But a picture like this gives you 1,000 words to think about, wouldn't you say?
Turd open, and the waters from above, and the rocks and the rubble from the firmament roof, because that's why it's firm. We're in a cave, a chamber, basically came down and covered it in a great catastrophe. And I've showed you different interpretations, so you can just see what I'm trying to get in this crazy head, that the tear happened and it just basically covered the green lush, basically forests and ecosystems, and created the deserts with the sand and the rubble. It's a crazy idea. But let's just have a look.
I love thinking crazy, though.
At the etymology of rift. That's what it's called. The Great Rift. A rift is a crack, is a split, or a break in something. So these ancient people called that in the sky the Great Rift because it looked like a crack, a split, now, or a break. Now you could say, yeah, well, you can see through it, and it's not really. It just looks like it. Well, of course it can, but it could also mean it did happen. It is either way, and for a catastrophe and for an ecosystem to change suddenly, It may.
And if you ever look at this, like if you ever went to Colorado and the highest mountain peak in the complete darkness, and you're looking at this rift, it is a most incredible. It almost looks alive. I've seen this thing in Colorado, and it is just, it's mind blowing. I mean, when you really see it with your own eyes, not pictures, videos, all of that cannot do what this thing does in life when you're sitting there and observing it for your own eyes. I've seen it, and it is just absolutely amazing. It's almost like the Northern Lights.
Sense that this could have happened. I mean, you've only got to look at people who research mud flood and the meltology and things like that. This catastrophe happened, and this whatever came through the crack to Earth. Other theories, what causes the Milky Way, the Great Rift, was Phaeton, and basically he borrowed the sun, the chariot, from Helios or Helio, I think it is. If we get me ancient Greek right. Anyway, so what happened is he flew the chariot too high, it scorched the firmament, the heavenly vault, leaving a permanent blazing trail that created the Milky Way. So that's intriguing. But so basically in that, if you read it, when the chariot flew too high, it scorched the firmament. So basically they're even talking about Phaeton with the sun is in this enclosed system. So this is not to add a few extra minutes to this short video. I'm actually trying to think a bit like you guys, like, oh, you suggest certain things when I'm making a video. When you watch it, you're always shouting out and different things. So I'm anticipating you doing that while I'm making the video, like I've always said. Now, what could this great rift be? Now, one of the reasons I'm thinking, like you guys, is that could it be when the fallen angels fell from heaven and the tear in the firmament from this other realm, the celestial, was the fallen angels coming through. Now, could I tie this into anything else? And it got me to thinking of, and Enoch said about the 200 fallen angels, and Mount Harmon with the UN bases, and I'll show you images on the screen.
Mount Harmon. And also, folks, remember now, I'm not going to break from this video or anything. I could show you content, but I'll just tell you, the angels are priests. Okay, you look the definition of angel up. Angel is angelos. The number is 32 in the Strong's Concordance. You can go check it out yourself. And an angel's definition is a priest. A priest has 6 letters in the spelling. And when you add the sum of the word priest, it comes to 78. 7 plus 8 is 15. And 1 plus 5 is 6. A priest is 666. So when it says that even the elect shall be deceived, who are the elect? Let's take a look. Israelite. This is why the word elite is in the word Israelite. Israelites are the elite. Even the elite, the Israelites, shall be misled. You heard it. I figured this stuff out. I don't care what anybody says. I don't worship any gods at all. None. Okay? We are from something that's far greater, that doesn't need our worship. It doesn't need worship. Everything is in place. Everything's been set in motion. When you pray to something, you are being prayed upon. The parallel to the word pray is pray. Okay? We are in a dualistic, natured world. Where we come from is not duality or individuality. When we come to this realm, you fall into individuality. You have the word duality in individuality. Are you seeing the connection? You are the entity in your identity. You better listen to what I have to say.
For that is, could it actually be in some connection with the 33rd parallel? Because
3 plus 3 is 6.
Lies on. And if you look at an image that I've put on the screen, not far from the 33rd parallel, which is known as the dead zone, most of the countries there are desert or wasteland, in a sense, rock, rubble and different things. Now, could, when these angels or this tear happened, like I'm trying to get in the video, causing the desert to cover these fallen angels? You look in the States, you have Texas and things like this, most arid. I know you do have some forests and that, but you can see what I'm trying to get at in this. I'm not saying it's foolproof. I'm just thinking, hey, just look at some of these locations.
But I like thinking outside the box.
Most of them are arid and desert.
And I love hearing things that are outside the box. Not what we're being taught by religious leaders, okay? Religious leaders want to keep you ignorant and in fear. The best way to control people is when they are in fear. If they're not in fear, like me, I'm not in fear of these cockroaches, these diseased parasites that somehow have latched on to these bodies and these dibooks that are using these religious leaders that are so cunning and evil that even the Israelite shall be deceived.
Now you could just say it's ecological. It could be, but you have Mount Hermon on the 33rd parallel. That is supposedly a location of the fallen angels, or a couple of the fallen angels. Then further in the States, you have Hoover Dam and all the symbology of that, with fallen angel symbology in the statues. And as you know, you watch my videos, guys, and I talk about the number 11 a lot. It has Interstate 11 running through it, which is another coincidence.
No, nothing's coincidences in this plane of existence. Zero coincidence, okay? People come into your lives because there's something on the other side. There's something that's evil that's making sure that you get to experience evil shit. That's what it was here for. Yeah.
And when we're talking about these 200 fallen angels in Enoch, 200, you can see on the screen, 200, a third of that is 66.6. It's crazy, isn't it? That this number finds itself into decimal form, and we're talking about a location
But it's not crazy. You see, all of it's relevant. All of this stuff makes sense to me because I've been studying numerology and gematria for 7 years. So none of it surprises me. In fact, I got so much content about 666. If you watch my videos, it's mind-blowing.
All the rubble, all the sand landed in this area that's known as the deadline, the dead zone, where these so-called fallen angels were buried beneath the ground. I don't know, but I'm just sharing this idea with you today.
So imagine if he's correct, all these angels that were buried underneath of this ground, and then when the Euphrates River supposedly is dried up, that it's supposed to release the horsemen.
So in this video that we're talking about, the desert, it was lush, it was green. We've also talked about the fallen angels tearing open the sky, could be another reason. But what could have caused the tear to happen in the first place? Is it the angels, or was it like God shouting, screaming up at the heavens and tearing it open to create a catastrophe, to clean this realm of giants, the fallen, etc., etc.? I don't know, I'll leave that up to you, but I want to show you.
Don't believe in giants, okay? This is why the word ant is in giant. Everything, ant is a representation of the atom, ant. Okay, so we could be as tiny as little ants in the real reality of our world and where we live, but yet we think we're these massive giants, and we're not. We're just regular old people, man, trapped in flesh suit.
A weird connection that I've talked about in the past, and hopefully you can follow along. So in Hebrew, the desert is known as midbar. The Hebrew word often translated as desert is midbar, or wilderness, which also carries a connotation of the place of the word, or a place where God speaks. Now, keep that in mind. So when people are talking about these heavens and the tear, I know for a fact you guys will be screaming, Paul, it's the plasma apocalypse. It's the squatter man. Now, if you guys have followed me for a long time, you know I've got a different opinion on the squatter man and the plasma in all regard to the voice of God, the vocal cords. And I will show you in a sec. But in this region, we have the squatter man. And you can see images of various depictions of the squatter man throughout this realm. one of this region caught my eye, and it's like they say it's a shaman, but I see the squatter man. I look at its head; it's a bee.
It is a
And
bee.
we've been talking about the bee lately, about showing you the shape of this realm.
Because we live in a hive, okay? That's why they used so many bees and a lot of bees in the hieroglyphs and stuff in the Egyptian tombs and stuff like that.
But you can see the squatter man shape. It's there for all you to see. So remember, it's called the rift, or the Milky Way, a crack, a split, or a tear, right? So look at the etymology of plasma. I've done it in videos, and I'll put it on screen. The etymology of which is in plasma, depends on the specific language and context. In Welsh, plural means hall or mansion, often referring to a manor house. It can also refer to an open space, similar to place. In Dutch, plas means pool or puddle. In some languages, plas may be derived from the Proto-Indo-European roots, the Pi roots, related to tearing. Say what? Yes. So when people talk about a plasma means a tearing, a rendering. But Paul, you're talking about the great rift, a crack, a split, a break, or a tear in the heavens. See me point? See how it connects? So the squatter man is the vocal cords. Now midbar, as you know, means where the place of God speaks. So was this the location that God came down in Eden, or whatever you want to depict, like the image I've put on the screen?
You can't depict God as any man, because Numbers 23:19 tells us that God is not a man. Okay? It's that simple. So if God is not a man, then it's a spirit form, and it uses us, angels, for its glory, both good and evil. Okay? Everything's good and evil. Okay? There's nobody walking 100% through their life in complete 100% harmony and never had any turmoil going on inside of their house. Not even Jesus. And when I say your house, I'm talking about your head.
And he shouts to the heavens, calling a great tear to wipe the planet of evil, fallen, Nephilim, whatever way you want to call it, because other etymologies of Midbar link it to pestilence or unused desolate place, and also represents a transitional space between civilizations and the unknown, often associated with a place of testing, refinement, and intimacy with God. Now you might go, why is he linking the squatter man to the vocal cords? Well, I'm going to play you a short clip from a video showing you that I believe everyone's got it wrong. When they talk about the plasma, I believe it's a tear in the sky. I believe it was when God spoke, the cymatics, the spell, cast his vocal cords onto the heavens, and that's what people saw. So here's that clip, and I made this several years ago, and it's been in different videos, so I don't know which one I'm going to use, but see what you guys think, and then I'll come back to you. They're telling you, if you only knew the magnificence of 369, then you would have the key, the frequency key to the universe. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how the 3, the 6 and the 9 is actual in regard to the voice box, the vocal cords, the voice of God. That is the secret they want to keep hidden. That is why they're going shh. They're showing you, don't open your mouth, because that is the voice of God, the power within to create and to destroy. And this is what I'll be talking about in this video.
Nikolai Tesla had a lot of good quotes. And one of his quotes that I listen to and I often share with others is that his quote is, when thinking of God, think in terms of energy, frequencies, and vibrations. And let me give you an example. A dog whistle. We can't hear a dog whistle, but when you blow through a dog whistle, it'll turn its head. It hears something, right? It's the same concept of what this plane of existence is made up of. It's made up of vibrations and frequencies that we can't see or hear. And that's what gives this world its material view through the pineal gland, of course. But it's what makes up the material world is vibrations.
So hopefully you guys, you'll enjoy it. So as I've just said, I believe the vocal cords, the voice box, the larynx, the package is the voice of God. And here's why I think it's this and connected to the 369, the magnificence of that. We know AL is basically God or divine or a deity, and VOC, VOC, means to call or voice. So add them together. Vocal means the voice of God or the call of God. Now, what's intriguing me about this is that in olden times, a symbol for a deity was a triangle or a pyramid. I'm just showing you an example above. Now, let me look at the definition. The rank of essential nature of God, divinity, God sent supreme being, a god or goddess, one exalted or revered, a supreme god or powerful. That's what deity means. Now, you saw the triangle, you saw deity. I'm talking about the voice of God. So let's have a look at the vocal cord region. What do you see? You see a triangle. Didn't I just say a triangle is a symbol of a deity? Yes, I did. Put that over there. Voice of God. A triangle. Our vocal area is a triangle. Just like the all-seeing eye, the secret eye. Could it be? In fact, it's a vocal area. I mean, look at the 369 that we all talk about. You always see it in a triangle, in a pyramid shape. It fits that area perfectly. So this is where I show you why I think it's the voice box and all that region being the voice of God and the 369. As you can see here, the laryngeal cavity continued. It's just a picture of the found, but it's about the larynx, and it's divided into three parts: the vestibule, the vertical, and the infraglottic part. So to me, that sounds like a 3. So could, and it is could, because like I said, I'm just theorising it and, talking between friends. Could the famous 369 be the voice box and all the secrets that's hidden within that? Could this be 3 out of the 6, 9? Just a thought. Next one is the vocal cords are composed of twin infoldings of 3 distinct tissues. The outer layer is squamous, non-cauterizing epithelium. Below this is a superficial layer, the lamina propria, a gel-like layer which allows the vocal folds to vibrate to produce sound. 2 infoldings of 3, which is 6. There you have it. So we have the 3 and the 6. But look closely. The vocal cords have 3 on each side. So you know what I'm going for here. The famous Scottish Rite, level 33. Could that be why it's so significant? Just an idea that, again, I'm throwing past you. So this is the 6. But it's funny that the 33, and I found 33 in the pyramid, fits nice in the vocal area. It wowed me when I originally found this. I believe I'm onto something, but like I said, it's just personal opinions, isn't it? The next one is the skeleton of the larynx. The skeleton, it contains 9 cartilages. Come on, so I found the 3, I found the 6, and now the skeleton, the cartilaginous skeleton, is the 9. There is your 3, 6, 9, the vocal area. But look at this, here's the larynx now, and it's just a slice off. Do you remember all my old videos? Can you identify what I'm going to say now? There's a shape hidden in that is supposedly an ancient symbol that's been in the sky. Some call it a plasmeric event. It's known as the squatter man amongst many things. Can you see it? I'll put a picture at the side just to show you. It's a wow. So that is a wow, mate. I didn't find that last time. I just seen, the cartilage in half here, like a slice section, and you see the squatter man, an image that appeared in antiquity all across the world, show this symbol. The hourglass video, I've done a video on it, Tempus Fugit, if you want to watch that. But wow, so in the voice of God, you have the squatter man. So we live in a world of spells. This is why this 369 to me is the vocal cords. I showed you how it fits. And if you just read it out again in your head, the quote, doesn't matter if he actually said it, the quote has been spelled, it's out there, it's been cast, so it means something. It's been pushed into the grimoire, the grammar. So if you only knew the magnificence of the 369, you showed that in the vocal cords cartilage, then you would have a key. Key, a door key, or a frequency key.
Wow.
A key to the universe, the one verse, the one song. How do you sing? How do you cast spells? With your voice, your vocal cords, music chords. And just look at this image that I found on the webs. They've even put our piano keys where the vocal cords are. And I'll zoom in for you. How wow is that? So again, if you only knew the magnificence of the 369, then you would have a key to the universe. It's telling you right there. These vocal cords, the voice of God, like the old Amazon Prime series Genesis and Preacher. It was the voice of Genesis. He could persuade anything. It's from the comics. I'm trying to show you that people may have it all wrong when they're talking about this 369. It's right in front of us, in us. It's in us. It's the vocal cord, the voice of God. Even in this video, in the old video, I talk about twin foldings of 3. So that you could, and I even mentioned 33. And in this video, I've talked about the dead zone, the 33rd parallel. Is it a frequency that was cast? I don't know. Did God, like I was showing you that image, shout the heavens and it cracked and it turned, and all that came out to cover the fallen? I just don't know. But it's intriguing when you put these things together, isn't it? I mean, just look at the images of the vocal cords, open and shut. Again, it looks like an eye. The eye of Horus, in the Lord of the Rings, the eye of Sauron. It looks crazy, doesn't it? But look at it when your vocal cords are abducted to speak. Tell me what number they're making. Oh, yes, an 11. And we showed you the power of this 11. Basically, 137 is the fine structured constant. So you can see how it's all connected. And then when we look a little bit deeper, and I show you an open vocal cords, just look what can fit inside it perfectly. Oh yes, a Freemasonry set and square, or set and compass.
These people are so freaking
Now,
dark. They have so much hidden content
how
from
that
us.
fits in. That's the secret. Shh. They don't want you to tell you. So, guys, I've just showed you that set and compass, or set and square, whatever you want to call it, and it had a G. People have said it's geodes, like me. Some people have said it's God, the great architect. It's the vocal cords. That space where the G was, you just saw it. I'll put it on screen again. See? Oh, if only there was something in the vocal cords started with the letter G. Oh, wait, there is. The glottis. A part of the larynx consisting of the vocal cords and the opening between them. It affects voice modulation through expansion or contraction. How wow is that? That I've just looked at that theory that I did several years ago, and I'm like, why didn't I put that in about the G before? So, in this video, I've theorized a lot about this great rift.
Maybe the G stands for what he just showed you. The ganglia.
The Milky Way tearing open and basically covering this green Sahara or other places, covering it. And could it be an act of God to bury the Nephilim, the fallen angels, whatever you want to call it? The voice, remember, the Midgard, the voice, the Midbar, sorry, and it called up into the heavens, tore it open and it covered it, and in through your own anatomy and different things, we're being shown the secret and the power of the voice, the power of the 369. Guys, I'm just blown away that when you revisit old videos, that you can see things that you've missed. This blows me away, and I'm not blowing smoke up my own air hole, but if anyone else did this, it'd be wow. But because it's us, nah, it's just a coincidence. But I'm happy and I'm proud and I'm glad you guys have me back. So if you want to support the channel, you can do so by like, share and subscribing. Please tell people to check it out. If you want to go a bit further and keep the lights on, as I say, you can always buy me a coffee or a bar, and I'll put the QR code on the screen and the link will be in the description. So I'm going to keep revisiting this topic, adding to it, theorising about more and more stuff in regard to what happened in this realm, this cave theory that I have that this is a part of. And hopefully, guys, you'll join me for that ride. So stay safe, always wear a smile, and don't let the bar stools grind us down. Bye.
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 That boy, he's so smart, man. I'm telling you, he's been studying for a long ass time, man. So, channels that you want to check out, man. Black Sheep Researcher right there, who you just listened from. This guy's got a wealth of etymology. I mean, he goes so deep. He's far, far better of an etymologist than myself. I've only been studying etymology for about the last year and a half. And that alone, once you step into that realm of understanding the knowledge and words and where they come from and what's really going on, it's really quite horrifying. I mean, for those that don't know, for me, I think it's beautiful. Like, I'm proud of it. I'm glad that I'm down this road. And we need more researchers. That's what we need. More researchers, so we come together as a community. Because the more people that come together as a community, the veil above us, the rift, the sky, the vault of heaven that keeps us locked in shall open up. And anything that's been living carnally and fleshly, as the Bible says, your blood shall pour out on the ground like dung. And those, all that are believers, shall enjoy a new heaven on earth. And that means that industry and corporation must be wiped out on the face of this earth in order for the earth to heal and waste of products to stop. We need to get back to clean water, natural food that's grown on its own, and clean air and food. Much love. This is White Raptor News Ministries.